Let me tell you something about life. People will try you. Oh, they will test the limits of your patience, your kindness, and your boundaries. Some folks think that just because you have a good heart, you're a doormat. They believe they can walk all over you, take your generosity for granted, and push your limits as far as they please. But there comes a time when enough is enough. There comes a moment when you realize that tolerating nonsense is not a sign of love, strength, or loyalty. It's a sign that you're betraying yourself. So you kiss them goodbye. And let me tell you something, that moment right there, that's where your story starts to change. That's when you stop living for other people and start living for yourself. See, there are people in this world who mistake kindness for weakness. They think that just because you forgive them once, you'll forgive them forever. They think that just because you let something slide, you're okay with it. But here's the truth, forgiveness is a gift, not a free pass. Boundaries are a form of respect both for yourself and for the people in your life. And when someone consistently disrespects your boundaries, they're showing you who they are. Let me break it down for you, plain and simple. People who constantly test your patience aren't doing it because they're clueless or unaware of their actions. No, they know exactly what they're doing. They've seen you extend grace before. They've watched you bite your tongue, swallow your pride, and give them another chance. And somewhere along the way, they convinced themselves that you'd keep tolerating their nonsense because, well, you always have. But here's the thing, they underestimated you. They thought they had you pegged, thought they could keep pushing and taking without consequence. What they didn't anticipate was the moment you woke up, that moment when you looked in the mirror and realized you were done. Done with the disrespect, the excuses, and the lack of accountability. Done sacrificing your peace just to keep the peace. Walking away wasn't just about leaving them behind, it was about stepping toward yourself. And that's the most powerful move you can make. When you decide to honor your worth, when you put yourself first, you're sending a clear message to the world: I will not settle. I will not tolerate less than I deserve. Now, let me tell you about those people you walked away from. They didn't see it coming. Oh, they thought they had you figured out. They believed they could keep taking without giving, keep pushing without apologizing, keep disrespecting without consequences. But life has a way of humbling people. One day they look around and realize that the person they took for granted is gone. And let me tell you, that's when the regret sets in. That's when they start replaying every moment, every word, every action or lack thereof that led to you leaving. But here's the truth, their regret doesn't mean you owe them a second chance. Their realization doesn't mean you have to open the door they slammed shut with their behavior. Because walking away isn't about punishing them, it's about protecting you. It's about creating a life that reflects your values, your boundaries, and your worth. And make no mistake, that's not selfish, it's necessary. See, when you tolerate someone's bad behavior, you're not just enabling them, you're teaching them how to treat you. Every time you let something slide, every time you stay silent, you're reinforcing the idea that their actions are acceptable. But the moment you walk away, that's the moment you flip the script. That's the moment you take back control. And here's the beautiful thing about choosing yourself, it opens the door to better things. When you let go of people who drain you, who disrespect you, who don't appreciate you, you make room for relationships that fill your cup. You attract people who see your worth, who value your presence, who respect your boundaries. But let me be real with you, walking away isn't easy. It takes strength to let go of what's familiar, even when it's toxic. It takes courage to step into the unknown, to trust that what's on the other side is better than what you're leaving behind. And it takes faith in yourself, faith in your journey, faith in the belief that you deserve more. There will be moments when you doubt your decision, Moments when you miss the good times, when you second guess whether you were too harsh or too quick to walk away. But let me remind you of this. Those good times don't erase the bad. They don't justify the disrespect, the manipulation, the hurt. You walked away because the relationship wasn't serving you. And that's reason enough. And let's not forget, walking away isn't just about romantic relationships, about friendships, family dynamics, work environments, any situation where you feel undervalued, unappreciated, or disrespected. Because your peace, your happiness, your well-being, they're not negotiable. When you choose to prioritize yourself, you're setting the standard. You're showing the world and yourself what you will and won't accept. And that's powerful. That's transformative. Now, don't get me wrong. There will be people who don't understand your decision. They'll call you selfish, accuse you of overreacting, try to guilt you into coming back. But let me tell you something, their opinion doesn't matter. The only opinion that matters is yours. The only person who has to live with your decisions is you. So stand firm in your choice. Hold your head high. And know that walking away isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It's a declaration that you value yourself too much to settle for anything less than you deserve. And let me leave you with this, the people who truly care about you, who truly value you, will never put you in a position where you feel the need to walk away. They'll respect you, support you, and cherish you. Those are the people worth keeping in your life. So to anyone out there who's feeling stuck, who's struggling to let go, let this be your reminder. You are worthy. You are enough. And you have the power to walk away from anything or anyone that doesn't align with your worth. Because when you prioritize yourself, when you honor your value, when you kiss nonsense goodbye, you're not just changing your life, you're transforming it. And that, my friends, is a move worth making. Let me ask you something. When you let them go, did you really lose anything? Or did you finally gain everything? Think about it for a moment. Because walking away from toxic people isn't about losing, it's about reclaiming. It's about taking back your peace, your joy, your freedom, those parts of yourself that were overshadowed by their negativity. I know letting go isn't easy. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. You get used to the familiar, even when it's hurting you. You hold on because of history, because of hope, because of what could be if things were different. But there comes a point when you realize that holding on is doing more damage than letting go ever could. And that's when the courage kicks in, the courage to stand up and say, enough. I deserve better. That courage, that strength, it's what sets you apart. It's what turns your life around. Because walking away isn't just about removing someone from your life, it's about making room for yourself. It's about creating space for the peace and happiness you deserve. And let me tell you something, when you make that choice, everything changes. People who care about you don't make you question your worth. They don't make you feel small or unimportant. They don't dismiss your feelings or treat your boundaries like they're optional. No, people who care about you show it through their actions. They respect you. They support you. They make you feel seen, heard, and valued. So when you kiss them goodbye, you weren't just saying goodbye to a person, you were saying goodbye to a pattern. You were breaking free from a cycle of disrespect and toxicity that had no place in your life. And in doing so, you opened the door to something better. Let's talk about what you gain when you walk away. First and foremost, you gain clarity. Toxic relationships cloud your judgment. They make you question your instincts, your decisions, your worth. But once you step away, it's like the fog lifts. You see things for what they really are. And you see yourself for who you really are, strong, deserving, whole. You also gain time. Think about all the energy you spent trying to make that relationship work. All the hours you wasted overthinking, apologizing, second-guessing yourself. When you let go, you get that time back. Time to focus on yourself, your dreams, your happiness. Time to invest in relationships that actually nurture you instead of draining you. And let's not forget about peace. Oh, the peace that comes with letting go of someone who brought nothing but chaos into your life. It's like taking a deep breath after holding it for far too long. It's freedom. It's relief. It's everything you didn't realize you were missing until you finally had it. But here's the thing, walking away doesn't just benefit you. It also sends a powerful message to the people around you. It shows them what you will and won't tolerate. It sets a standard for how you deserve to be treated. And for the person you walked away from, it's a wake-up call. Maybe they'll learn from it. Maybe they won't, but that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to yourself. Now, I'm not saying there won't be moments of doubt. There will be times when you miss the good moments, when you wonder if you were too harsh or too quick to leave. But let me remind you of this. Those good moments don't erase the bad. They don't justify the disrespect, the hurt, the toxicity. You walked away for a reason, and that reason still matters. And let's talk about the people who come into your life once you let go of the toxic ones. The ones who see your worth and celebrate it, the ones who respect your boundaries, who uplift you, who make you feel like you're enough just as you are. Those are the relationships worth holding on to. Those are the connections that matter. Walking away is a form of self-love. It's saying, I choose me. I choose my happiness, my peace, my worth. And that's not selfish, it's necessary. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't be your best self when you're surrounded by people who bring out the worst in you. Because when you prioritize yourself, when you honor your value, you don't just change your life, you transform it. You create a life that reflects who you truly are and what you truly deserve. And that, my friend, is a life worth living. So no, you didn't lose anything when you let them go. You gained everything. You gained clarity, peace, freedom. You gained the chance to start fresh, to build a life that feels good, that feels right. And most importantly, you gained yourself. And that's the most powerful thing of all. Let me tell you something, life has a way of teaching us who belongs and who doesn't. When you let go of the wrong people, you're not just clearing space, you're opening the door to something better. You're creating room for relationships that nurture you, challenge you in healthy ways, and remind you of your worth. The right people don't just stumble into your life, they come when you've made the space for them, when you've set the standard for how you deserve to be treated. The right ones? Oh, they're different. They see your value without you having to prove it. They respect your boundaries without you having to fight for them. They appreciate your presence because they understand how rare and precious it is. These are the relationships worth holding on to, worth investing in. They don't drain you, they uplift you. They don't take from you endlessly, they give back just as much, if not more. Now, here's the thing about the people you let go of. Some of them won't be able to accept that it's over. They'll come back. They'll show up with apologies, promises, and sweet words designed to pull at your heartstrings. I've changed, they'll say. I didn't know what I had until it was gone, they'll insist. And some of them might even mean it. But here's where your discernment comes in. Because let me tell you, words are cheap. Anybody can say the right things. Anybody can make a promise in the heat of regret. But real change, that takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistent action. If someone truly values you, they'll show it not just in their words, but in how they treat you, how they respect your boundaries, and how they prove that they've learned from the past. You don't owe anyone a second chance just because they ask for one. A second chance isn't a gift you give lightly. It's something that has to be earned. And let's not forget why you walked away in the first place. You didn't make that decision lightly. You didn't let go because it was easy, you let go because it was necessary. because you realize that staying meant sacrificing your peace, your self-respect, and your happiness. So when someone tries to come back into your life, you have to ask yourself, do they add to your life or do they take away from it? Are they bringing peace or are they bringing chaos? Are they consistent or are they just good at making promises? You see, life is too short to spend it with people who make you question your worth. Too short to stay in relationships that drain you, belittle you, or make you feel like you're not enough. The right people will never make you feel that way. The right people will celebrate your wins and hold you up in your losses. They'll make you feel seen, valued, and appreciated, not because you demand it, but because they genuinely care. Walking away from toxic people isn't just about cutting ties. It's about setting a precedent for how you expect to be treated. It's about honoring yourself enough to demand better. And when you do that, you attract people who meet that standard. You attract relationships that add value to your life, not ones that deplete it. But let's keep it real. Walking away takes courage. It's not easy to let go of someone you've invested in, someone you've cared for deeply. It's not easy to walk away from history, from familiarity, from the hope that things could change. But the truth is, holding on to something toxic is far more painful than letting go ever will be. When you walk away, you're choosing yourself. You're choosing peace over chaos, self-respect over disrespect, and happiness over hardhash. And don't think for a second that the people you walked away from won't notice. Oh, they'll notice. Because your absence speaks louder than your presence ever could. When you're no longer there to tolerate their nonsense, when you're no longer there to clean up their messes or make excuses for their behavior, they'll feel it. And that's not your burden to carry. Let them sit with the consequences of their actions. Let them learn the lessons they need to learn. Because here's the truth, you don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing yourself. You don't owe anyone an apology for walking away from what doesn't serve you. Your responsibility is to yourself to protect your peace, to honor your boundaries, and to surround yourself with people who uplift you. And let me tell you, when you do that, when you choose yourself, you set a powerful example. You show others that it's okay to walk away from what hurts them. You inspire others to demand better for themselves. And most importantly, you remind yourself of your own strength, your own worth, and your own resilience. The people who truly belong in your life will never make you question your decision to walk away from toxicity. They'll understand, they'll respect your boundaries, and they'll be grateful for the chance to be part of your journey. Those are the people you build with. Those are the relationships you nurture. So don't second guess yourself. Don't let guilt or fear hold you back. Letting go of the wrong people isn't a loss, it's a gain. It's a step toward a life filled with peace, love, and joy. It's a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you deserve nothing less. You deserve relationships that fill your cup, that inspire you, that make you feel seen and valued. You deserve people who respect your boundaries, who cherish your presence, and who uplift you in every possible way. And those people, they're out there. But you'll only find them when you make the space for them, when you let go of what's holding you back. So let go. Trust yourself. And remember this, walking away isn't just an ending, it's a beginning. A beginning of a life that's aligned with your worth, your values, and your dreams. A beginning of relationships that are built on mutual respect, love, and understanding. A beginning of a brighter, happier, and more fulfilling chapter in your life. And that, my friend, is something worth walking toward. Let me start by saying this. Letting go is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but it's also one of the most transformative. To anyone out there struggling to walk away, I want you to know you're not alone. I see you, I feel your pain. I understand the weight of the decision you're carrying. Letting go isn't just about ending a relationship or cutting tainting. It's about stepping into a new version of yourself, a version that values peace over chaos, self-respect over compromise, and growth over stagnation. When you're caught in a toxic relationship, it's like being in quicksand. Every time you try to move forward, the negativity pulls you back down. And it's not just you who suffers, it's the other person too. By staying, you're allowing their harmful behaviors to continue unchecked. You're enabling patterns that do neither of you any good. Walking away isn't just a choice for yourself, it's an opportunity for both of you to confront what's broken and to seek healing in ways you couldn't while staying in that dysfunction. And yes, walking away hurts. It feels like a loss. And in many ways, it is. You're grieving the relationship, the memories, the dreams you had for what it could be. But what you're gaining far outweighs what you're leaving behind. You're gaining clarity. You're gaining peace. You're gaining the freedom to build a life that truly reflects your values and your worth. Let's talk about guilt for a moment, because that's one of the biggest hurdles people face when trying to let go. Society has this way of making us feel like choosing ourselves is selfish, like setting boundaries is somehow cruel. But let me tell you something, there is nothing selfish about protecting your peace. There is nothing cruel about demanding respect. Those aren't acts of selfishness, they're acts of self-love. And self-love is not optional, it's essential. People who truly care about you will never make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. They'll understand. They'll respect your boundaries, even if it hurts at first. But those who thrive on your tolerance of their nonsense, oh, they'll try to make you feel like the villain. They'll twist the narrative, paint themselves as the victim, and do everything they can to pull you back into their web of toxicity. That's why you have to stand firm. You have to remember why you walked away in the first place. Because here's the truth, you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. If you allow disrespect, that's what you'll get. If you overlook broken promises, they'll keep breaking them. But the moment you draw a line in the sand, the moment you say, this is not okay, you shift the entire dynamic. You set a new standard, not just for how others treat you, but for how you treat yourself. Boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to healthier relationships. They're the way you say, I value myself, and I value you enough to be honest about what I need. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about creating a foundation for relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. And if someone can't meet you there, that's not your loss, it's theirs. Now, let me get real with you. Not everyone will respect your boundaries. Some people will push, test, and try to manipulate their way back into your life. They'll tell you you're overreacting, that you're asking for too much, that you're being unreasonable. But let me ask you this, since when is expecting respect, kindness, and honesty too much? Those aren't luxuries, they're the bare minimum. When you kiss nonsense goodbye, you're sending a message to the world, I know my worth. And let me tell you, the world takes notice. The energy you put out is the energy you attract. When you prioritize yourself, you draw people and opportunities that align with your values. You create space for the relationships and experiences that truly enrich your life. But let's not sugarcoat it. Letting go is a process. It's not a one-time decision, it's a daily commitment. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the past calls to you, moments when you question if you made the right choice. In those moments, remind yourself of what you deserve. Remind yourself of why you walked away. And most importantly, remind yourself that growth comes from discomfort. Because walking away isn't just an act of courage, it's an act of growth. It's choosing healing over hurt, progress over stagnation, and freedom over fear. It's a declaration that you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. And when you make that choice, you open the door to a life that reflects your worth. Let me tell you about that life. It's filled with people who see you for who you are and value you for it. People who respect your boundaries without question, who uplift you instead of tearing you down, who make you feel seen, heard, and appreciated. These are the relationships that matter. These are the connections that nourish your soul and remind you of your greatness. And let's not forget about the people you walked away from. Some of them will eventually realize what they lost. They'll look back and see the ways they took you for granted, the ways they let their nonsense overshadow your kindness. But by then, you'll be so far along your path of growth and self-love that their regrets won't matter. You'll have moved on to a life that's brighter, fuller, and more aligned with who you are. So, to anyone out there struggling to let go, let me leave you with this. You are stronger than you think. You are worth more than you know. And the best is yet to come. Don't let guilt, fear, or doubt hold you back from the life you deserve. Kiss the nonsense goodbye and don't look back. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and keep shining. Because the world needs more people who know their worth, who stand tall in their truth, and who refuse to settle for less.